trout here. We fishing a little point, the mouth of the Rigolets. We'll go over some reasons why. All right, well, now that the limit is 13 inches, this is nowhere near a keeper. Let him go. But what I'm doing, so I got the tide peeling in pretty good off that point. So it's coming out the Rigolets, coming around this corner, and that's all like 30 to 40 foot deep off that point. And right here, we call this the flat. It comes up to like 8 to 12 foot right here. There it is. And we try to catch it on that incoming tide. These fish will stage up on that shallow flat. And again, we're having to weed through them. You know, if they were still 12 inches, that one would be close. But with the new 13-inch rule, we're having to throw a little bit more of them back. But I'm throwing kind of up current, kind of side current, and I'm just letting that current swift it back. Got Captain Kenny fishing behind us. I'm kind of letting it go to his boat. They're fishing live bait, which is definitely effective, and they're catching some nice fish too. And but we're just bouncing this ultraviolet on the bottom. Now if I throw too far that way, I'll be in like 40 foot. So you kind of you want to be using your depth finder to get a feel for what this depth is like. But the cast I keep making over and over and over is slightly up current. Let it get to the bottom in that like 8 to 9, 10 foot of water. And I'm not really bouncing it all that hard because the current's going to be doing a lot of the movement of the lure for you. And just wiggling it on back, and sometimes they're 12 inches and sometimes they're 17, 18 inches. Just kind of mixing through them on this beautiful, beautiful day out here in Pontchartrain. More little ones. We started this morning fishing on the old twin span where we saw that DockSide TV video last week, and that's pretty much in the same current line of where we are now, which is right here on the mouth of the Rigolets where it hits Pontchartrain. And sometimes these fish can be really small and sometimes they can be really big. And again, like I said, the Pearl River's high. We discussed that in the last DockSide TV episode. So when you get a high river and more fresh water, you're gonna tend to have smaller fish and more throwbacks, where if it's real salty and green, you'll notice that the fish will be bigger on the average. But there's some really nice fish around, but there's more throwbacks we're having to weed through than normal with this fresh water in the estuary right here. There he is. Little bitty fish. This point right here is the major artery of Pontchartrain, and we've had some unbelievable days here in our lifetime. Great little spot for the late spring, early summer. But today, seem like they're mostly throwbacks. And that happens. But all that water coming from Bourne has to go through the Rigolets, and then it comes into Pontchartrain. I like this spot on an incoming tide like we have right now. And it could really produce some fish. This feels like a keeper. Like a keeper right here. Oh, this would be nice to have an eye pilot. I could spot lock it. I'm fighting this current. trying to hold this boat in the current right here. This is a big current spot where you can make a lot of casts in the same spot once you locate them. Look at that. They go from a little dink to a beautiful 16-incher. And that's been the name of the game the last few DockSide TVs. Like as you saw, we started on the twin span, and on the last episode, and they were mixed up and using that ultraviolet right now. And here as I'm on the tip of this point, the Treasure Isle point, they're mixed up again. Feels like a good one this time. No dink this time. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that, baby. Oh, that's what we're looking for. Some days when we come over to this point, it's all fish this size. I mean, we've caught them here up to 6, 7, 8 pounds before. Got him on the ultraviolet again. Just an awesome, awesome fish. This is what we are looking for out here. Alright, another fish we catch when we're fishing this point is these big bull reds will come through at times. Timmy just hooked a giant right here. I mean, that's a whopper. I find that when I'm casting up closer to the docks or the piers, when I'm fishing around this point, I've caught several big giant reds right here. With this being a major migration zone, it's pretty common to hang into a big bull red like this. See if Timmy can get a grip on him and show this fish off to you guys without hurting him too bad. Look at that Brutus right there. That's a giant, y'all. All right, when you throw him in, just throw him in head first, like torpedo him. There he goes. Get on up here, baby. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and close this one out. Fishing the major point of the Rigolets where it hits Pontchartrain. We call this the Treasure Isle Point. Another good spot for you guys to try if you're wanting to stay off the trestle. Another good lure for you guys to try when fishing the Gulf Coast for beautiful speckled trout, the ultraviolet matrix shad. Today we're using on a 3/8 ounce jig head, the black platinum. Another beautiful trout. Had to weed through them today, but they're either 12 inches or up to 17, 18 like this. Make sure to get out here on the lake the next few weeks, few months. Having a pretty good year, a lot of fish. They changed the limit to the 13-inch rule, so you're getting more throwbacks than we're used to, but nevertheless, great to be out here on the water. Hope you learned something today, new spots. Make sure to subscribe to the monthly bait box. Get your hands on these ultraviolets that we used today. And this morning, if you check out our last DockSide TV episode, go ahead and go back to that. Using a midnight mullet on the twin span, you'll be getting some of those in the matrix bait box. And subscribe to our YouTube channel as we go over all kinds of different places to fish besides the trestle out here in the Pontchartrain Basin. Till next time, guys, good fishing.